So how many of you guys remember Shrinky Dinks? You remember those? They came on this little sheet of like weird paper or plastic or mixture. And we'd color them with like these markers and stuff. And then when we were done, we would put them on a sheet and we'd throw them in the oven. These were toys, almost like a sticker for those of you that don't know what a Shrinky Dink is. And we would bake them and they'd shrink down into these little plastic, almost hard little sticker looking toys. Kind of. And then you could like poke holes in them. You could put them on necklaces. You could just play like little games on the table with them. You could put them on charm bracelets. You could put them on just about anything. We had them on backpacks. We would glue them to trapper keepers, notebooks, all kinds of stuff. But there was some problems with these. Number one, the smell. When you put them in that oven, everybody knew that you were cooking Shrinky Dinks. They stunk. They had a horrible smell. The funny thing is, I'm pretty sure they were toxic. I'm pretty sure if you looked it up now, the original Shrinky Dinks we had, they were toxic when we put them in the oven. So, we're all standing there with our heads in the ovens, waiting for these to shrink down, watching this miraculous transformation, breathing in all these toxic fumes. Yep, we sure did. Probably what's wrong with our brains in some cases, because that was a lot of our toys back then. And then we would take them out and we had to let them cool because, you got to burn your fingers a few times before you realize you have to let them cool. And then we would take like needles or something and we would get them really, really hot because you had to poke a hole through the top if you were going to add them to anything. If you weren't just going to play with them to play with them, then you had to poke a hole in them to hang them from your backpack and stuff like that. So we would take a needle and we would poke a hole through the top and then we'd put a little loop on it like a key ring or something and we'd hang it from our jackets as a zipper pull, or we'd put it on, a backpack or something like that. The thing about our toys were a lot of them contained substances that are now found to make people very sick. Even though, we're still alive, I mean, how well are we really doing? Because some of our toys were more dangerous due to fumes than the hazards that the toys actually carried. Now, I don't know how many of you guys remember the Shrinky Dinks, but if you do, throw a comment down at the bottom. Tell me what you used them for. I mean, this is just one of those videos that I wanted to do because it popped into my mind and I'm like, ooh, this would make a good video. So let me know. Anyway, guys, make sure you're subscribing, make sure you're liking the video, and make sure you're sharing. And I'll see you guys next time.